So, I want to talk about the advantages of conversational articulation style selling, or you can call it conversational communication style selling. The benefits of being a conversationalist versus just a trainer or a lecturer is that you make a connection to individuals because they feel very comfortable in just having someone talk sort of with them versus at them. So even if you've looked at certain videos that I've done, I talk more in a conversational style than necessarily at you. Of course, I am sharing knowledge and wisdom and, providing some call to actions and just different things for you to consider. But in the form of what I am facilitating is more in a conversation because I'm actually inviting you to be a part of this. And as I'm inviting you to be a part of what I'm sharing, I feel like it actually is like a call to response, or I'm talking with you and you're actually feeding me some of what your concerns are, and then I'm also answering those. So something that's really big for me that I am an authority on is conversational training and being able to have these different conversations and share the knowledge and wisdom as it's taking place. Now, with selling, it works very effectively in terms of being able to have that conversational style type of articulation or communication. People just feel more comfortable with it. So whether it is your sales copy or just even whether it's a video presentation, so to speak, just whatever you're doing, when it's more conversational, more, not so much has to be so polished and buttoned down. It's very natural and organic, right? So just like right now, I feel that what's going on even with you all is that you've prompted me in the sense to have this type of message come forth to you, because I teach on this in conversational styles and just also just in some of the traditional style formats of teaching and training. But for this series that I've been doing in terms of being able to learn how to adjust your sale and your sales as you're navigating this new now business normal, it's like, no, don't just leave that part for those that buy your products and different masterminds and things that you have. Bring this forth to us even for awareness that this is how we actually need to start really allowing this to be sort of the master dominator communication factor as it relates to the selling aspect. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to have some like expanded awareness around this because I've made you aware, and most of you are already actually doing this. What it is that I'm bringing more consciousness to this, more awareness, and we're going to expand this. That nowadays, when people are wanting to put their faith, so to speak, or the no like and trust or no love and trust factor into an individual, now people want to feel very right at home. You know, not that things have to be so salesy or so. They get it in the sense that when you present something that primarily there's going to be some type of offer or opportunity that comes forth. So something I want to share, especially those of you, of course, who are entrepreneurs and business owners, but those in the online space. So when you are presenting or doing webinars or teleseminars or, some type of online training or so, even if it's free, most people who have attended those trainings already know that there's going to be some type of offer or so or opportunity that's going to be positioned at the end. But what it is that they want to see how you are, what you're bringing about, all right? So let's just say that you are just out and about in the grocery store or just walking around. I just say in the marketplace because it all is the marketplace in a sense. And being ready to just have a conversation if it strikes up. And one that can, yes, definitely lead someone into an impact and an income opportunity. It's communication that connects then converts. But the thing about it is that you're not being in terms of intentional in saying that, oh, I'm going out here with this agenda to do this. No, it is that you're just prepared if it should arise. And you could do that just in a very general conversation and be able to close in a conversational style. And I have a training around that too. of being a conversational closer. And so with that, again, just being natural, and it can just naturally, organically lead into something, or you're just empowering or inspiring someone, regardless of what you are selling. I say this often. You are actually always selling, in a sense. You're always branding. You're always marketing. And in some form, you're always sort of advertising, but you definitely are always selling. Even if you're selling someone on a perspective that benefits them, even if it is to help them to see something differently about themselves. Maybe they're down, and then you show them where they're great, they're unique, they're special, or however. And you've sold them on that perspective. If they buy into that, the point that, I never thought about that. I actually do need to give myself a little bit more credit. I didn't see that about myself. Wow, thank you. What did you just do? You just sold them on their best self in that moment. So you're always selling, but it's how are you doing it, right? So having conversational articulation and looking for that to be your main vehicle, in a sense, moving forward, you're going to see tremendous results. Because even when you're doing this in terms of your marketing copy or so, is that when people can feel like, okay, well, just having a conversation, just being very natural, not necessarily like, here's 5 points to do this, and it's going to sell you on X, Y, and Z, And again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't still use those, but what I'm saying is that to be more naturally organic, to have more conversational style communication, with individuals. So one of the things I've been recommending, especially lately, and it's not something that's new, is that individuals do more car studio types of empowerment, and even training or teaching, meaning be in your vehicle. Vehicles are powerful because they represent moving forward, but moving forward in a way where you actually have to crank up. You have to have fuel in order to go, right? And so the difference with that type of advantage, in a sense, than even walking, because one thing we know about in a car or vehicle, you can get to where you're going faster, right? So you want to have that vibration. And even though I do videos and things where I'm walking and I'm in motion and in different things, but again, just metaphorically, it takes a little bit longer to get to where you're going most times than it would in a vehicle. And during these times, we do want to help people to be more accelerated in what they're doing, because if we can just show them where they already have the advantage of something, then it can catapult them. And so that's being able to have that accurate articulation that can accelerate. But the way that we get there, in a sense, is just communication, just communicating, and not talking at people, so to speak, but like I said, just talking with them. You are sort of talking at them, like right now. You're not present with me, so to speak, in this room where I can make eye contact with you and, just have some physical energy there, right? But the thing about it is that I can still be having a conversation with you, because even down in the comments or so, I'm starting this here, but you can talk back to me. And we can have conversation just based on what I'm talking about, or it could lead to something else and also lead to me providing another training or so, another conversation, for you. But again, I feel like you are with me here, and that I'm touching on the areas that are most important to you, core desires that you wanted me to articulate. So that's the advantage, too, of not being so much a lecturer, but having this conversation. And I talk about this even in one of my more expanded trainings around, the essence of successful selling. And I have 2 different versions of that training, but being able to just be very natural and be very organic and have a conversation. People tend to connect to that. They tend to remember more so conversations than they do in terms of lecturers. And bringing this back to sales, okay, is that when it can be something that's just natural and kind of to the point in a sense, but really shows that you care, because you're just, being not necessarily concerned. Of course, there are concerns, whatever it is that you're addressing for them. they just, feel more connected when it can be conversation. So that's something with even within your copy, when you're putting your marketing copy out there, think about how you can be more conversational, how your articulation can sound more like a conversation that then changes the rules of engagement, so to speak, so that other people can then connect to you in a certain way and engage and respond to you a certain way. So again, going back to the benefits of this, the benefits of this is that for you, it takes the pressure off of you having to feel like you've got to be so polished and so together, that you can just be natural and organic, as if you were talking to a family member, a close friend or so, that you're still an entrepreneur and a business owner and a professional, but you are just now saying, I'm going to use maybe this more natural approach to individuals, because people are wanting to get out of so much of the rules and the confinements. They're wanting to be uninstitutionalized and very unconventional, and even how they learn at this point, because they've been taking in a lot of information. They've been trying to dot the I's, dot the T's, and look for people who are actually doing that too, that they can sort of level themselves up in a way to that. But the era has shifted. And now people want to be more free. They don't want to feel like, oh, I've got to be so grammatically correct all the time. I've got to dot every I and every T. They're not, or cross every T, so to speak. They don't want to feel that way. And they don't want people coming at them being very salesy at this point. They want it to feel natural. But at the same time, as I mentioned, most of them are already expecting that some type of offer or some type of opportunity is coming forth, and they're okay with that. They're ready to hear what that is. If they attend something, then they know, because of just the natural organic progression, so to speak, of different industries, that they're going to provide something of an opportunity for them to, invest in. And again, they're fine with that. Most people nowadays aren't just looking at, oh no, here they come again with another sales. That still happens, but again, it depends on who it is that's doing it and how they're coming off, how they're coming across. But when you can just be just who you are and showing up in the moment and allowing the essence of the vibration of selling, in a sense, for it to be for the win-win, you're not in it to necessarily make a sale all the time, because you're selling regardless. As I mentioned, you're either selling someone on a perspective to let them know they have more in them than they can see, at the moment, or you're giving them something to consider. So even as I'm talking here and providing what is expanded awareness, because I'm going to already say this, you already know this. This is really not new information. Now, I may be phrasing it in a way that now it clicks for you and it resonates. But you'll see that you kind of already do this. But as I mentioned, now that you're conscious of this, that's where you need to start to flow more from that vibration of the conversational style articulation as it relates to, yes, you're selling, really to any and everything, that you do. And I have more works, around this. But again, I feel that you all prompted me, in a sense, to even come and provide the communication or the language around this, so that you can say, oh, that's it. Okay, yes. I can be more just authentic in that way. I can be more, organic. I can be rough around the edges if I need to. And I would just say that, just be mindful, of course, in how you're showing up. But you can get out ahead of yourself with that. So I want to talk about that. How do you get out ahead of yourself? When you are present to be with, because we have more than one audience, but when you're present to be with particular audiences and just saying, I'm going to show up in my best, for them, and make that, connection, and make them feel comfortable and provide for them what they really need, not necessarily what I feel I want to give to them, but connect with them at that deeper level. And if you already have that intention and then you set that out, I'm here to serve, then the opportunities will open up. And when you prepare yourself in that way, it's just like the saying, preparation meets your opportunity, right? Or opportunity meets your preparation, in a sense. So when you prepare yourself to just be natural, to just be organic, to have conversations, then you're going to align with more people and opportunities for that type of engagement or encounter to happen, so to speak. Okay? So again, I just want you to think about this. I don't really have action steps for you to take in terms of here's how you do this to articulate better. No, we're just going to leave it here in terms of you just being more aware that the conversational style articulation or a conversational communication style for selling is what you need to leverage, during this time. And there's information below, certainly, if you want to learn more about how to take that to the next level in your communications factor. And communications is on all fronts. It's not just about talking and speaking. Again, it's in writing. It's in beingness. So that trinity there, in your speaking, the oral, the written, and then your beingness, all plays a part of your unique signature selling essence, if you will, for success. So yes. So again, let's start having more conversations, all right? And you're going to see your sales impact just go out the roof. I'm speaking it for you because I know the power of this and the benefits, of this. So I'll be back with more training soon.